Degrassi is a teen television series that follows the lives of high schoolers attending the fictional Degrassi High, set in Toronto and airing from 1979 to 2019. Adored by many for its authentic portrayals of the teen experience and its ability to maintain relevancy over the 40 years it's been airing, it's become something of a living archive of the social issues faced by teens and how they have and haven't changed over the years. Let's look at an example. How Degrassi handles the subject of teen substance use, comparing an episode from 1980 to one from 2016. In season 3 of Degrassi Junior High, a character named Shane takes LSD for the first time at a rock concert. While it's unclear how exactly the night unfolds, he goes missing and is later found by the police unconscious under a bridge, having wandered off alone and presumably jumped or fallen. In subsequent episodes, he's shown in hospital with permanent brain damage as a result of his drug use. What message does this send to the audience? Does it feel educational? Does it feel realistic? Compare this to season 1 of Degrassi Next Class, where character Miles Hollingsworth begins using anti-anxiety medication he gets from a friend to cope with stress. His use escalates to the point where he finds himself waking up in a park by himself, having blacked out and not remembering how he got there, and realizing that he needs help to manage his addiction. How does this differ from the 1980s approach and depiction? A few differences I notice immediately are their motivations for using. Shane is using out of curiosity and for fun, whereas Miles is using to self-medicate. Notably, they're also using different substances. Shane is using a psychedelic, and Miles is using a benzo. LSD is an illegal substance, but lorazepam is a regulated medication. And while I think that this is a missed opportunity for Next Class to tie in the toxic drug supply and overdose crisis, it does serve to illustrate a change in the systemic response to drug use. In Shane's story, the police respond, while Miles' story doesn't involve the police at all. And this should illustrate the changing societal view of substance use and the shift away from treating it as a criminal legal issue towards more of a public health approach. Consequently, while Miles' story captures the nuances of addiction, trauma, and mental health, it also offers a message of hope and recovery. Shane's story, on the other hand, is not so optimistic, and it feeds into the fearful tone of drug messaging at the time, which is essentially to just say no to drugs or you might end up dead or with permanent brain damage. There are still some parallels in these stories. They both face stigma and shame for their drug use, which leads them to conceal and hide their use out of fear for either punishment or judgment. They also both end up in dangerous situations by themselves, which I think illustrates a salient point and tangible harm reduction message, which is that you should never use alone or leave your friends by themselves if they've been using, because we're the ones that keep each other safe, and we have to look out for each other. What do you think Degrassi gets right or wrong when handling youth substance use? Does it feel accurate to your lived experience? Does the messaging land or at least spark a conversation? Let me know in the comments. Tag a friend, like, comment, subscribe. Ha 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 ha.